God, I love that introduction. It's so sexy. It's so sleek. It's so nice. Love that thing. I had to do it. I had to bring it in for people who are just coming in now to check it out. So what we're going to be talking about right now is a very interesting story because it's not going to get a lot of coverage, I don't think, because people aren't going to want to ruffle some feathers, right? In the movie blogging world, the movie journalism world, they're not going to want to ruffle any feathers. But I am okay with ruffling some feathers because I think there's some unethical actions happening. And Lewis, as a person who is in access media, I want to know your honest opinion. Do you support story theft without sourcing?
No.
Good.
Especially if you're a small site, because we don't get anything, man. We have to work triple the time to break a story. We don't get stuff put on our lap. It's not fair. But what's going on with this story? I'm curious.
So this one, this is where it gets a little bit crazy because remember a week ago, right? And just a week ago, we got this exclusive over on Slashfilm. Star Wars exclusive, The Mandalorian Season 2 cast Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. And that hit the internet by storm, right? Everyone was talking about it. I talked about it. You talked about it. Everyone talked about it. We're all happy for it. Everyone's excited for Rosario Dawson to pop up on the show. Now, a story like that breaks. It's exclusive to Slashfilm. You know everyone else is going to cover it, right?
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. Deadline covered it. Deadline covered it here with Anthony D'Alessandro covered it. Okay, like right after it came out, he dropped his article on it. Did not source back.
Ouch.
To Slashfilm. Now, Slashfilm gets roughly about 9 million clicks a month, so they're not 100% on the small side, right? They're not. But Deadline pulls in 16.71 million clicks a month on average right now. I'm looking at their numbers right now. So that's still a lot more than Slashfilm. I know Slashfilm's not 9, it's 4 million a month. My bad. Okay. So then just a couple days ago, right? So that happened. No one talked about it. Just a couple days ago, Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, he posts this exclusive. Michael Biehn cast a new Star Wars Mandalorian second season. All right. And that was, again, people were talking about this a couple days ago. You know, oh my God, Kyle Reese is going to be in the Mando season 2. Hell yeah. I'm excited. I know you're excited. But what happens? Oh, the Mandalorian season 2 cast. Michael Biehn joins Bill Burr returning. Well, in this particular article, it says here, Deadline has confirmed the Mandalorian role for has confirmed all the Mandalorian season 2 noise out there for Michael Biehn, saying he's joined with Bill Burr. Okay, well, the noise came from MakingStarWars.net, which has absolutely been correct before at breaking a ton of scoops, right?
Yep.
And no sourcing back. Now, Making Star Wars is nowhere near as big or popular as Slashfilm. And so, when called out about this, because Jason Ward, he calls it out. He says here on Twitter, hey, at Deadline and Awards, Tony, that's Anthony's Twitter. He says, you've stolen my work or my story and my work without citation. That's very unprofessional of you. That's work I triple sourced, worked for at my personal expense to bring to the film community. And that is a very true statement in my mind, because he gets these connections. He puts it out there. He builds his name. He builds his credibility. He builds his trust. And he didn't get sourced. If I cover anything from Jason Ward, I make sure Jason Ward is sourced. I make sure of it because it's the right thing to do. Now, he called this out, and here's what happened. He got blocked on Twitter by Anthony. saying here at Deadline's Awards, Tony is not only a content thief and unethical journalist, he blocked me after robbing me. Fuck their level of elitism. The only thing on the other side of that corporate gatekeeping wall is Tony being twice as lazy as Making Star Wars or half as talented, which is a very solid burn and very well earned, in my opinion. And that is not as bad as it gets, actually, because Peter Sciretta from Slashfilm, I know you know him.
Yeah.
He posted DMs with Anthony complaining about the Rosario Dawson Ahsoka Tano scoop from last week, saying, don't tell Awards Tony that not crediting the original source of a news story and instead referring to it as noise is wrong. He'll block you. He also told me that Deadline has a corporate policy of not linking sites who broke a story. What a joke. And he posts them here. And also, he was blocked by Awards Tony after, before this information got out there. So basically it says here that the corporate policy of Deadline is to not link to sites outside of the PMC. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming it's like whatever's within the corporate bubble.
That's actually great news. You know why?
Why?
Because now I could post all the Deadline stuff and it could be, pretty much my story. Because I'm going to implement that rule to my writers and say you're not to source Deadline only.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of the smaller sites are now saying we're not going to be sourcing Deadline.
And they stand to lose more because Deadline, like I said before this, gets the scoops way before everyone. They get everything served on a silver platter and paid for it. We have to struggle and pay out of our pocket to get these scoops for you guys. So, great. So now I'm going to look at Deadline and just report away.
Yeah, there's no point of giving it to Deadline. There's no point of giving them any backlinks or hell, even sharing screenshots of their website. Rambo said, they drew first blood.
They
did. Yeah, they did. It's one of those things where Jason, I know puts in a lot of work, and Peter, I have called him out for his Joker commentary, but I do think that Slashfilm does do good work, and I do like that website quite a bit. So it's one of those things where you look at it and you just go, hey man, come on, source back to the original. I may not put the links in all my videos, but I do show the article on the screen. I use screenshots. Where I'm getting this information from. I make sure to tell you that. So there's at least that. But there are people out there that I'll watch some of these channels, these smaller channels that don't ever source it, that just try to, but they don't care because they're so small. But when you are as big as Deadline, there should be some ethical nature there. Right. And it says, but did you catch that line there? It says, we have a corporate policy about not linking outside of the corporate bubble. Right. Well, but he called it noise. He didn't say MakingStarWars.net. If he could have said Making Star Wars and not linked back to it, then that's technically not a violation of the corporate policy because he's not diverting traffic away.
But let me ask you a question. Looking through their site, is it just this author that follows that rule? Do the other ones actually source? That's a question to be looked at.
Truth be told, I do not know.
Peter at Slashfilm, just so you guys know, he's one of the last independent websites that are big. He is pretty big, and that's really not cool. He's not corporate owned at all, at least to the best of my knowledge. Whatever disagreements anyone has with his previous reporting or whatnot, he's a friend of mine. I consider to get the stuff stolen from him and Jason. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really crazy, and I would hope that I would really hope that going forward, they realize that, because I'm wondering, I know the Dis Insider or the Diz Insider, whatever it is, it's a Disney blog. They reference a lot to Slashfilm. I'm friends with their editor in chief, and he's like, we're done. Other websites, I think someone from Screen Rant had said that they're not going to be linking back to Deadline anymore. And that's, again, Screen Rant pulls in 40 million clicks a month, right? Yeah. They pull in a lot. They pull in a lot more than Deadline because they also do a lot more clickbait. But they do a lot of that, and that's gonna, if the film blogging community turns its back on Deadline, that is gonna hurt it, I think, in the long run. Maybe not its credibility with the trades, because people will either look at Variety, Hollywood Reporter, or Deadline for being the people who can confirm stuff, right? For being the in. But if the smaller people,
the reason they're the in is because they copy Slashfilm.
Well, in this particular case, I guess. But they said,
when else have they done it though?
Well, I don't know, and I have a feeling that's going to come up.
Yeah, because if it's a policy, that means it's been in play for at least as long as this blogger has been working for that company. So for all we know, there's a possibility, there's evidence right there put out that Deadline never breaks any stories. In fact, they probably look for other people, smaller people, less known people, and copy and paste their story. So I'm going to go with that.
Maybe. We don't know. Well, no, we don't know. And I don't want to sit there and make those kind of accusations.
Well, maybe. I'm not accusing. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Okay, fine. That I'll
left their policy leaves them open for that question. You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it definitely leaves them open, and obviously it needs to be discussed at great length, and I think we're going to get to that point. I'll see if I can get Jason Ward on at some point to chat about this. I'd like to. I think I'd like to draw some more attention. But in the meantime, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this down in the comment section.